Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Liberal Simon Barakis will sit in State Parliament as the new member for Clark. The former Hobart City Councillor won the recount triggered by Elise Archer's controversial departure.
It's been a long couple of weeks. I don't know if I've got much left on my fingernails. Really excited to hit the ground running and work with such a great team that we've got here under Jeremy.
Clearly respected amongst his colleagues, but also the electorate of Clark, having of course been on the Hobart City Council for some time.
There will now be a recount for the Hobart City Council seat of Mr Barakis, although a time frame for that hasn't been announced. Improving services at district hospitals would reduce ambulance ramping in Launceston and Hobart, according to Labor. It says, if in power, it would increase the regional health workforce by offering free degrees and improve access to medical services in rural areas.
We've got chronic workforce shortages across the ambulance service and across our healthcare workforce. And Labor's Right Priorities plan will reduce ramping.
We are investing significant more resources, but also improving our infrastructure around our hospitals and our emergency departments as well. It's also about working in partnership and strong partnership with the federal government.
Less than half of emergency patients were seen on time, according to the latest health data from August. A greyhound adoption program employee is blowing the whistle on Tas Racing, saying kennel conditions aren't up to scratch. She's concerned dogs aren't being rehabilitated, worried they'll never have the chance to become much-loved family pets.
Kira Salerno loves greyhounds.
They're such beautiful dogs. They're all so quirky and they've got their own personalities. Like, they're all just loving dogs and they all deserve that opportunity.
For 2 years, she's been volunteering and working at Tas Racing's greyhound adoption program. She's now been stood down. She believes it's because she'd raised concerns about culture and the conditions dogs are kept in.
I was very clear that I think that these dogs should be given every opportunity to be worked with. Which obviously goes against what they were after.
Claiming certain dogs aren't being walked at all and muzzled indefinitely, that toys and bowls are left dirty with peanut butter smeared onto beds. In her view, less direct care leads to poorer rehabilitation.
I think it's very clear that a lot of the dogs are getting restless, they're bored, they haven't got anything to do. Kira hasn't previously been against greyhound racing, but that's changed. They come to us with rotten, broken teeth. They've never been able to take a treat. Some dogs, you can't even pat them. You can't get near them because they're so terrified of being handled.
Even saying some bear scars consistent with live baiting practices. The RSPCA doesn't have oversight of the program or its kennels, but says it would like it. Earlier this year, draft reforms to the program, giving dogs less time to be rehabilitated, raised concerns.
Animal welfare regulations in this state are woeful when it comes to proper animal welfare. And it's most concerning that Tas Racing continue to bury their heads in the sand and ignore what these whistleblowers are saying.
A spokesperson for Tas Racing said that all dogs are kept in good conditions, with kennels inspected daily, also refuting that any are indefinitely muzzled. They wouldn't comment on Kira's employment. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The family of a trans woman who was allegedly assaulted in prison before her death is calling for a coronial inquest. According to her mother, Marjorie Harwood refused life-saving care for a medical issue to avoid being sent back to Risdon, where she claimed to have been raped the year prior. Her mother today lodging a formal brief calling for an investigation into the circumstances.
I'm hoping that that no other parent has to go through what I've been through, and because no parent should have to bury their child before them.
So they knew very well that Marjorie was trans. They acknowledged that she was trans within the prison system, but then ignored that when it came to keeping her safe.
A Justice Department spokesperson says the coroner will consider the request. Tasmania has taken a major step towards a clean energy future, unveiling plans for an offshore wind zone in Bass Strait. The proposal gaining momentum, hoping to cement the state's reputation as a renewable energy powerhouse.
Change is in the air.
Tasmania is a great powerhouse of renewable energy.
but I believe its best days are ahead of it.
Tasmania to lead the charge powering the future of clean energy. Bass Strait picked as the home of a proposed offshore wind zone.
Bass Strait is a very windy place. It can generate wind all through the day and all through the night, and that means it can generate power all through the day and the night as well.
Bass Strait is a world-class wind resource. We want to unlock what that opportunity means for this state.
The proposed zone stretches from Wynyard in the west to beyond Bridport in the east, accelerating the push for a supercharged national supply chain.
There is no offshore wind industry in Australia at all. So when you're starting an industry from scratch, you've got a lot to work with.
Generating clean, green, renewable energy, but also what it could mean for the people of Tasmania.
Lighting up the employment grid, the proposed wind farms also tipped to deliver a jobs bonanza.
16,000 jobs in construction, 8,000 jobs ongoing if we proceed with the full zone.
The government embarking on a consultation roadshow, opening up the project for community feedback.
Legitimate questions and concerns about amenity, about what they'll look like, about fishing, about whale, about bird migration, about all those issues, and that's fair enough.
That consultation period ends on January 31. From there, it's another step towards spinning into action. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
News China is reviewing crippling tariffs on Australian products. Could be good for Tasmanian wineries. The industry is hoping the move opens doors for local vineyards as they gather for an annual celebration.
Raising a glass to those who create a top drop.
It's a huge benefit for the industry, being able to kind of cross-reference across both sides.
New machinery and techniques are the talking points at Wine Tasmania's Field Day. So too managing botrytis bunch rot disease, which can rip through crops.
It's knowing when the fungus infects the vine and what are the critical times to protect the crop.
Being able to find avenues to manage that successfully and reduce the loss ultimately.
This gathering comes as China considers eliminating crippling tariffs on Australian wine. Local producers are watching on closely.
To have that opportunity to kind of gain that momentum back again is going to be massive.
The tariffs had Australian labels feeling the grapes of wrath as exports withered on the vine.
China was a $1.2 billion market for Australian wine at its peak. That has now dropped off to $8 million worth.
Tasmania hasn't traditionally been a huge exporter to China due to low production volumes. But as times change, one expert says local businesses should be ready to pour.
It would be timely to start considering options now with a view to looking to re-engage with that market next year.
We're a rapidly growing industry down here, and to have that opportunity to kind of gain that momentum back again is going to be massive.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania is in the spotlight of a reality show filming at tourist hotspots in the state's north this week. Contestants on Adventure All Stars don't know where they're going or what they're doing, all the while raising money for charity.
Lights, camera, action at Hollybank. Now in its 4th season, reality travel series Adventure All Stars has taken viewers from Cairns to Auckland as contestants take on high and not so high adrenaline activities.
Oh my God.
Their exploits beamed to an international audience, and now it's Tassie's turn.
We've been caving yesterday, and then we went to, not too much adrenaline at Western Tears Distillery, but that was absolutely delicious to have some gins there. And then this morning we've been ziplining here at the Treetops Park, and it's been so fun.
Adventurers don't know what each day has in store as they travel around uncovering experiences and sharing their exciting itineraries with viewers.
I am absolutely petrified of heights. There will be family members at home that will not believe this footage when they see what I've done today.
So it's probably a good thing you didn't know what you were getting yourself in for this morning?
Exactly. When we turned the corner, saw the sign, I thought, great.
The show is shining a light not only on the local tourism industry but also on great causes, having raised more than $10 million so far for charities and counting.
Each of our cast members have all raised funds for charity, and we take them away for the best trip ever. It's a really great way to see these guys making a difference in their lives, and not only for themselves but also for the communities.
The Tasmanian episode is supporting greyhound charity Racing to Rehome.
We have a greyhound called Kevin ourselves and a foster called Tara, and Kevin's been with us for about 2 years and has a really special place in our hearts, and Racing to Rehome did a great job finding us Kevin and a lot of other people their dream dog as well.
Aussie viewers can tune in via 7plus and the Outdoor Channel. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Families will be able to learn more about vision impaired sport at a Come and Try Day in Hobart this weekend. Helping mark National Children's Week, it will feature Aussie rules, soccer and cricket demonstrations. Organisers believe sport can foster diversity and inclusion in the community.
Gives an opportunity for young people to maybe meet children that have disabilities. It's a great opportunity for families to connect with other families.
It's beautiful because you get to build different relationships with other people. You get to show people how to play blind cricket, blind football, blind soccer.
The event takes place on Saturday at the Cornelian Bay Sports Grounds from 10 a.m. Mainlanders are being encouraged to come down for air with Tourism Tasmania's new campaign released. Operators say it's a crucial tour in luring visitors, with the domestic market slowing because of cost of living pressures.
It's somewhere between 5 and 10% down on this time last year, but the spend's a little bit down as well.
So it's really important for Tasmania to be front of mind and cutting through what is a really competitive landscape at the moment across Australia.
The Come Down for Air campaign is being targeted at the 5 interstate capitals. An American rock band loved by millions is returning to Hobart as part of its Australian tour, The End Is Nero. Queens of the Stone Age is lining up for Mona Foma in February, performing some of its top hits, as well as songs from their new album, In Times New Roman. The stars will be supported by Pond, a psychedelic rock band from Perth, and Melbourne ensemble Gut Health. Tickets go on sale Monday. We might not be aware, but today is World Kangaroo Day, and drivers are being reminded they play a huge role in protecting our wildlife. Animal advocates also putting the call out for rehabilitators, with breeding season proving more difficult than ever before.
It's an Aussie icon, often left for dead. Experts using World Kangaroo Day to send an important message for all wildlife.
Slow down, so you've got time to react without swerving and putting your own safety at risk.
Motorists also asked to avoid driving at dusk and dawn, but if you do hit an animal, move its carcass off the road.
All our other carnivores come to eat it and they get run over as well. So if we can just remove roadkill from the roads when safe to do so, it would save thousands of lives.
You can also check its pouch and keep pillowcases and beanies in the car to care for orphans.
Pillowcase it doesn't have fluffy bits, so baby animals don't eat the fluffy bits and then swallow them, and the beanie just provides a bit of warmth and a bit of extra sort of tightness so they feel like they're in a pouch.
A timely message amid an early and booming baby season.
It's been probably the most challenging baby season that we've seen in history, and unfortunately at a time where we have the least amount of rehabilitators that I remember.
Jodie Swan, one of the few giving rescues a second chance at life.
It's just so rewarding. I'm just so happy. Your life just cannot get any better. I mean, it would be better if they were still in their mum's pouch, obviously.
Members of the public can follow in her footsteps by completing a simple training course.
Sometimes it can take days for a little Joey to die in its mum's pouch if it doesn't dehydrate or freeze to death. A crow will come along and peck it, and it's just horrible.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The community has come together to mark World Polio Day. Local Rotarians commemorating global efforts to eradicate the once rampant worldwide disease.
Polio Day gives us the opportunity to celebrate how far we've come and to remind us of just how close we are to finishing the jobs.
To make such a massive change is really significant, but it's something that has to be worked on over time.
Funds raised by Rotary are directly spent on delivering polio vaccinations across the world.
And in Hockey 1, the Tassie Tigers men's side are gearing up for a season-defining fortnight. The second-place Tigers play Brisbane on Friday, followed by New South Wales. Their coach looking forward to finding out where they sit in the pecking order.
We've played some really good hockey. The test for us is the next 2 weeks to see where that hockey stands against probably the two best teams in the comp.
The women's side, meanwhile, will be focusing on defence. 3 of their 4 goals they conceded against Perth came early in the first quarter.
Each week we learn from the weeks past, and this week we'll look to make a good start.
Both games will be played in Brisbane on Friday night. And Kim, most of the damage was done in the women's game just in the very first 10 minutes of the quarter, so better luck to them this week.
Good evening. Today, Hobart 22, Launceston 20, 18 for both Burnie and Devonport. Across the state, Bushy Park 23, Grove and Friendly Beaches 22, Flinders Island, St Helens and Strawn 20, King Island and Smithton 19, Low Head and Maria Island 17 and just 11 for Lyweenie today. The satellite shows scattered cloud over Tasmania ahead of an approaching low pressure system. Now we can see areas of low-level cloud over the state and over Bass Strait and into Victoria, associated with a cold front and low-pressure system. Tomorrow shows a trough passing over Tasmania. A high-pressure system lies south of WA and the SA border. West to northwesterly winds 30 to 40 knots, turning southwesterly in the morning and decreasing to 20 to 30 knots in the west and north. West to southwesterly swells in the west and south, building to 7 metres. A severe weather warning for damaging winds continues for all parts of the state tomorrow, excluding the Furneaux Islands. A gale warning for the entirety of the state is in place, and also for many inland waters. A strong wind warning has also been issued for the Central Plateau lakes. Also a sheep graziers alert for many parts of Tasmania, and a bushwalkers weather alert for the Western Central Plateau forecast districts due to snowfall. Now here comes that cold snap. Tomorrow Hobart windy with showers, expecting 12. Similar in Geeston 11, showers in Bothwell 10 degrees. Launceston a shower or 2 14. Winds easing in Devonport and Cressy 13's the top. Wet and windy in Burnie and Strawn, expecting 11. Very windy in Curry with 12. Showers also for St Helens 16, a shower or 2 in Swansea 13. Much the same in Alford 12 degrees. Thursday showers about the west and south, easing and contracting to the far south during the day. Possible morning inland frost with snowfall to 800 metres. Friday fine with patchy morning frost continuing. Saturday showers developing about the west during the afternoon and evening. To the mainland capital cities tomorrow, developing showers in Melbourne 14, 15 and a shower or 2 in Adelaide, partly cloudy and 25 in Sydney, mostly sunny skies in Brisbane with 31 degrees. And that wind is hanging around in Hobart, Launceston and Devonport. Batten down the hatches and stay warm. Another cold snap is well and truly on the way.
Crazy weather. Thank you very much, Kaya. That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe and good night.